Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Music All Together with DG Sassidal. So, Don Martinez, you know Don now, and Don will be everywhere on radio in the FreeForm and managing all indie artists and promoting all the time what we can expect about everything that you can do for you, musician, bands, orchestra, and so. How are you doing, Don?
I thank you so much, Philippe. I'm doing great today and excited to really get some rock and roll going here with companies that I'm really jazzed about, and you're one of them.
Thank you very much. We did a first small video show last week about the what music altogether or music altogether depends on how you want to pronounce it and to associate the words. That's very important. And today we are back. We're back for a second one for only one simple reason, is that we had a recording problem with the sound. So the sound was a real pity. Oh yeah.
What a drag. We gotta correct that. We're bad kids, but we gotta correct that.
That was my fault, because just an old driver with the blah blah blah. And as I used to say, when the new tech is working, this is a miracle. When it doesn't, this is a mystery. And who can explain that? I don't know. But that's the way. Now it's working. I monitor that as soon as Dawn is speaking, the sound is recording. So that's wonderful. Music altogether is growing slowly and step by step, is teaming up with some genuine people in the music industry, and we need to say again and to tell our audience again that our goal is a giant one. We want to make the music world and the music industry evolve. Go ahead.
And also, we want it to be a safe, trustworthy businesses. No more cutthroats. We've got to be diligent in taking care of all that we're going to do for the indies, for the music, for spotlights on featured artists, for the change of what's going on in our world with the music to this day. So, I'm sorry, you're going to hear my dogs barking.
You want?
I do live on a ranch.
Yeah.
Okay, just to let you know, but it's me. With music all together, what I like about the series is that that we talk about lots of things going on with the music business, how to connect with the right businesses, what they're offering, what will help market and media these independent indie artists, and the changes of the new world of FM leaving us in AM and coming into a global cyberspace world, which is really cool for us. So that's why I'm so excited to team up with you, my station, because we foster wonderful independent indie artists free of charge. But we're here to build their fan base and everything. But connecting with you with the TRSV is another added measure to great businesses coming together and making a change in this world instead of just dealing with the same businesses.
Yeah, that's the main problem, as we more often say altogether. That's a lot of misconfusion in their marketing approach for all musicians, and they are believing in some myth that doesn't exist, absolutely doesn't exist anymore, and I'm not sure all this existed in the past too. And that's the way that to be on the right path for them to do a concrete marketing. Marketing is expensive, of course, but we can do now, because we have this wonderful new technologies, those wonderful social media. we can do some genuine and efficient marketing with something in the reasonable and low budget. We can do this at the only condition that everyone involved, means the marketer and the musician, will cooperate in the same way. And I promise you that works. That works in everything is fine. And the musician, the band, whatever, will get some returns on all invest you can do. And especially most now with social media is investing time, but they need to forget about the launch and forget concept. Musician, you are not the Messiah. You are not doing a war as a common way. And now you are doing a marathon, and you are running a marathon. Marketing is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Exactly the same way than search engine optimization. If you don't want to be involved daily, you don't need to spend 18 hours of your day on social media, on your website or so, but just 1 hour per day. I was telling 2-3 days ago to an artist on Facebook. He said, everything is fine. I get now 2,000 fans on my Facebook page. And my answer was, and so what? And so what? How many CD, how many downloads, how many vinyl, if you produce one, sold right now? That's the right question, because you need to earn money to pay your bill. That's simple as 1, 2, 3. And the second one, I just say, look, my humble company has just 210 fans on the page. I promise you my company is in good standing and really healthy. You need to have to know your audience, and this is what all musicians need to understand right now. And then they can go through some genuine concept.
And you tapped up on quite a few topics that are very true, and understanding about what TRSV services out. And this is why I want to collaborate with you, because you're a one-shot drop is what I like to call it. Mm-hmm. And all the independent indie artists struggle dearly if you're not a guru or know the media and how to market it. You can say boo, shoo, or what, but in the end, if it doesn't sell your music, then you better change your tactics, because it's just not the right oomph. And that's where you come involved, because this is what you do. And all 3 of your programs that I saw was very, not expensive. Mm-hmm. As much as they pay for a manager to set them up to do this, and that, they don't cover the media side as well as they think they do. Yeah. And for a lot of our artists, they live and have another job to support their income or their study forms. So they too do not have the time to sit there and market and be the tycoon that you are, to give them that extra oomph and push. Now, if they want to sit there and dolly this and that, then that's only them, because many times they've been screwed over and they just don't want to trust anybody. And that's one of the reasons why I love my station, because I am going to be a pawn to make a difference to this world, in the business world. Yes, I am a businesswoman too, but I do know the what makes a business flourish, and it's called positive energy. Always unconditional and understanding to give these people what they need. And I'm not there to, take from them. They control everything. That's one of the reasons why I liked you, is because you allow the artists to control their whole projects. I'm just a radio station in the sense that broadcasts and is booming with wonderful plays of independent quality music. And I meet up with these guys daily, and they need another extra oomph in their life. And this is where I want them to go to you. So it's important for me to walk the path of an indie.
Mhm.
And if I walk a path of an indie, then I know exactly what they struggle with and how to repair. I can't repair angry or broken hearts from being screwed over by every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Not literally, but at this point, I can definitely make a big change in what I want to see in my world and how I want to interact professionally with everyone and what I do on my basis to help another person because I am a humanitarian and I love who I am. And
Mhm.
my heart belongs to helping people and finding out the right things. And that doesn't mean I haven't been screwed because I also am a published author. So I had to walk some heavy steps and get screwed in the same time too. But I got smarter and did it on my own, but it took me years to do it. So if the indies would release that and let it flow with the right company, which I believe that's why I'm hooking up with a lot of great companies this time to help these indies feel that they are powerful, that they have a way to get their media and music out there with someone else besides them busting their ass and not wanting to know. Not busting their britches, I should say. Meow.
they they need to be involved. What you said is wise and true. Most of the indies are not enough involved in their own business. They are submitting their music to radio station. All right, just a few knows exactly the URL of the radio they send. They have a dream having their music, on the FM radio. But they don't realize something that FM radio is the range of an FM radio is 40 miles. So if you broadcast in Santa Fe, all right, my music, maybe one day I will compose and sing something. But if you broadcast in Santa Fe my music, how can I listen to it in New York if you're just a local FM station? If there's a relay of the station over the internet, yes, I can listen to my music on your Santa Fe radio station. But if not, I cannot. And this involvement is fundamental because they need to relay our post on social media, for example. The second thing is don't believe too much in the Radio Alliance charts because this is DJ's charts. That's not the guys who will buy your music. The only people who will buy your music is your audience. So what you need is an audience chart, nothing else. All right, but you number one in a chart. Wonderful. That means you did good music and you're a talented artist. But that's just the first step. That's the basement. That doesn't mean that you will sell 10,000 CDs tomorrow morning.
We have great, fabulous audiences that love what we're doing in a freeform style. Though we do have our special shows like mine, I have a country and then I have a rock and roll.
Yeah.
And those special shows are fabulous so they can come in, but we have a vast arrangements of genres we deal with all over the world. And I love cultural music, so it's only divine to slide it in there with everything else. Now, the one thing a lot of our artists need to understand that times are changing, and that means our FM and AM stations are starting to dwindle away because of the sponsorships. And not only that, the main focus was all you would listen to was freaking commercials. And you played more commercials for the sponsor spotlights than you ever did the music and to promote them.
Sure.
And for us, this is why we use Facebook a lot, because a lot of these artists are all loaded on Facebook and they never know when their music's being played by even an FM station. And so with that being said, a lot of FM stations are turning down the indie artists if they're not hooked up with a recording contract or a managing studio manager, they won't even play you on FM anymore. Whoopie do.
Yeah.
My station doesn't have commercials. And though I want the sponsors, there's another way we can give kudos to the sponsors, because I believe in listening to more music than I believe listening to mumble jumble crap. But that's me. Okay. But with that being said, that's one of our reasons why our studio is growing, because a lot of people love that concept.
That's the right model. You know, I remember 35 years ago in France, there was a radio station named FIP. That was 24 hours, 24 hours per day music, and just every 2 hours, 5 minutes with news. That's it. And with all genre of music, classical music, country, rock, the latest song from the well-known Mr. Phil Collins or whatever. And that was fine, because you were in a traffic congestion where you were automatically switch on FIP, and then you get relaxed in the car and have music. And that's the way. About social media, and that's why you have the right model with radio in the FreeForm. Another thing on the on social media is there's a drama and a syndrome on Facebook and Twitter. And the first thing is to say, far from eyes of your audience, far from the heart of your audience, you know. And that means that we need to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat again, simply because maybe you have an audience in the US, maybe in Europe, maybe in Oceania. And of course, it's not noon at the same time everywhere on Mother Earth. That's another basic principle, and that's why we need to repeat and repeat again. We have implemented some automatic campaign to repeat that, and we're posting it every 25 hours. That's not for the 25, but for the global audience to discover. Everyone needs to be on every music platform, but that's not enough. Posting on social media, it's inescapable, but not enough too. And that's why the global involvement is absolutely necessary. This is not the number of likes on your page on the post which is important. This is the engagement you have with your audience. You can.
That's what we pride ourselves in, is our engagement. We are known for, and what does the public want? I mean, what's nice is I can plug my station in and go through the whole United States or even international and listen to my song, my music on our station. But if I use an FM, which is way back when now, it's going to start, the cyber world is taking over in so many senses. So it's important to jump on the bandwagon with media in that attribute. Everybody loves how we interact with everybody. I'm still struggling on Twitter once in a while, okay? Because it's a fast movement. A quick, snappy word will get you where you need to be. Nobody reads. With Facebook, some are readers, but some are drama kings and queens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dirty laundry, junk in their trunk, and I don't do that so well. But this is how we interact. So fabulous with the public. And then what happens is the audience really listens and says, oh my God, they're playing live and this and that, and they're interacting. How fun is that? I have sold and helped sell these artists' music just by that alone. And they'll come in and say, like for an example, we have a wonderful world artist, Piale Gangali isn't one. And when I put her music on and they're listening to me, they're like, oh my God, I need to buy her album. Mm-hmm. Of course, what do? They do that. And then she comes in and connects with that person. And you know what? That made their day. That made their day to connect with a wonderful artist they thought was wonderful. Do you know when you go to concerts, the people that are in the concert scene, they're really not personal. And that's one of the reasons why I love New Mexico, because we have personal concerts where there's smaller venues, but we can actually greet and meet these guys. Not that I stick around. I'm not a roadie, cheeky.
That
They come to me.
they the principle they everyone in all the industries around the world have forgotten is small drops make a river. Don't
Absolutely.
don't dream about a giant venue with 1 million seats. Start with 200 and put it full. Then you earn something. And maybe now the sole way to earn money for musicians is, of course, to sell CDs. But
Now,
they can improve and increase their CD sales by performing live. And that's,
maybe
go ahead.
there's one thing that a lot of artists need to understand is that when they so desperately want to be on FM so they can be broadcast out through the world, they don't really realize this.
Oh,
But when you're hooked up with a radio station like that, they want royalties. Well, royalties are really like pennies compared to selling an album or one song. That's how bad it's gotten for the artists, you know. And so they pay for a rotation fee to be able to get heard several times. And like in 3 hours, you may hear the same song again
mhm.
on the FM after all these wild commercials. And I'm like, really? So, you know, I really want the indies to know that they are a force to be reckoned with, that they can set their standards and do not live in an FM AM radio world, because it's not going to happen. And even the labeled artists, they don't get paid that well on an FM station rotation. A cha.
Yeah.
So, you know, money is really needs to be focused on how to sell that song, how to sell that album. And by proper marketing and media communication, feature artists, and getting connected with the right companies that will trustworthy take care of them and show them the ropes. And by us communicating on Facebook, these guys know already that we're the bomb.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they marketing, the right communication is 80% common sense. So if you don't do that when you get to the bakery to get your bread, don't do it in the music industry world, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and no need to prove it. To just see that it doesn't work.
No, I don't want to interrupt, but I do want you to understand too, it is crucial when an artist is being played, even be it on internet radio, may it be on FM radio or whatever, that meshing is really important to communicate with each other and give proper respect to the radio station that is giving you kudos. A lot of them will just say, here, play my music. Well, what have you done for me lately? Excuse me. Your song may be freaking off the wall delicious. No. But you know what? You got to give kudos where it needs to be and interact to say, hey, thanks a lot, Sassy, or thanks a lot, Phil, for everything you do. And you have to be really diligent to give love, because when you give love, oh my gosh, the flower just blooms.
Yeah.
It's giving kudos to people that are like-minded. You know, like I said, I don't like negativity. And of course, there's a lot of artists out there that are negative, but that's their problem. They have to get over the boohoo shoes. I'm sorry, that's kind of cruel to say, but I don't have an issue with stuff like that. I want to grow with positive, like-minded people.
Common sense, yeah.
Who know how to put it forth, who know how to interact and be who they need to be when you're dealing with public. And you know, you walk into a business, and the golden rule usually is, Phil, that the customer is always correct.
Exactly. The customer is, yeah.
In my world.
The customer is not king for years, and no more king for years. There's, you know, we went through from customer to provider to partner to partner. And that's the sole and unique way to create a real, genuine value. That's a fundamental of marketing too. And again, submitting some music to a radio station, whatever this is in FM, AM, or just internet as radio in different form. This is not a due. This is a privilege, and they need to understand that and to follow it up extremely closely, because we have no obligation to put any music on rotation. So again, that's a partnership. Just to say, you send me your music, MP3, blah 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 blah, duly tagged, then I can upload on my radio rotation. And then, if you're not involved, if you don't do this, if you forget about me, so I will forget about you. Of course, that's just a basic behavior of human being. Again and again, that's the right proof that a large part of marketing is just common sense. So follow what you're doing, restrict the number of radio you send your music, and follow it up closely. And then you will see a big change with your audience, a big change with yourselves, and a big change with everything.
You know, you nailed that just right. Just interacting, because you are a musician. You can't go in hiding, excuse me, unless you want to and you don't care anymore. That's understandable. That's your prerogative. But when you are relying on others to help you build a fan base and a communicative relationship, because your fans are the ones who are going to buy, and they're going to tell a friend, and so on and so on. But with Facebook, you can get tons of likes, but they're still not. They may be supportive that way, but they're not buying it. And of course, then you get this angry musician, well, come on over and buy my music, you know? Well, you dork, you never even
Does it work?
communicated with them, and yet you say something so ugly or snappy like that I could just like bitch slap you.
They
I'm sorry. So you have to watch out for me, because this is usually, this cowgirl has some smack.
that's exactly the situation, you know, and the fact that we develop this concept in another live broadcast, you and I, that's the theory of the inbound marketing. And the inbound marketing is extremely powerful, and it works for musicians. The problem of the non-involvement of musicians, it's because most of everything they can get over the internet is free. That's why at TRSV, starting next week, we have implemented some very, very low fee subscription. The first one, as an example, starts at $1 per month. One.
That's awesome.
Yeah, $12 a year.
And so what do they get for $12 a year then?
Then we have the music on rotation, but everyone is free to submit the music. But every time the music will be spent on TRSV Radio, it will be posted on Twitter, on 2 different Twitter accounts, and plus on TRSV page. All right, and the music will be time to time included in special events as Be Jazzy, Hip Hop Day, or something like that, you know. TRSV Radio is fully different from radio in the free form. TRSV Radio is not a real radio. It's just a repetition of the music. So
on art that you support and that wants your services, and which you, I have to say, you have some beautiful, outstanding dynamite artists on your lineups.
absolutely.
I absolutely love too, and have had the pleasure of working with and airing their wonderful music. But these people definitely are stepping into a new world that they have to realize if they want their music somewhere heard, they've got to engage and learn. And I like that about what you offer your people, because I'm different than you as a radio station. And like me, I don't repeat, you repeat.
Yeah,
Because I have thousands and thousands of musicians that I foster.
I know.
And of course, I'm sending a lot of them to you because I think they are perfect with like-minded person and wants to really, they're so hungry they want it. And you know, with the other people that have been through the ringer, they're not hungry. They want to whine, but they don't want to get off their butts and really do something about it by getting the right people involved to help their career go. So with that being said, your station is different than mine, but the quality that you use on Radiotomy, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And that's why we decided weeks ago to team up together, because there's a complementary service for the benefit of the indies artist. And that's fundamental. I will give you an example. Actually, 4 artists are featured on TRSV. I won't talk about our best friend in Florida because she's involved and more than ever. But a jazz band from Alabama, Blend Jazz.
Yes.
Every morning when I wake up, I have minimum 35 notification because they're reposted every tweet and every post on the Facebook page related to their music, and just saying thanks, Phil, and you know, that's easy, but they do it. They take the time to do it, even if you don't have, they're doing it. And I can tell about Jack. I could say many things about Jack Scannell, the hip-hop jazz man. I can talk about Alchemy, they're doing the same, and Ingrid, of course, because now everyone knows that Ingrid will be our guest in the next live video show. Sorry, the brain is too hot. and those artists are really more than involved in their art, in their music, and they are doing exactly what they need to do. And they can see some progress in themselves, their progress in the music, and this is no more a secret now. But Ingrid Smith, Eclipse the Songmaker, for example, recorded and added a video on one of her songs with special pictures and special sequences from the NASA, and the video is in the NASA challenge right now. So I'm sure 100% that will increase our sales. Absolutely.
And she busted her britches to make this happen. I mean, she is diligent and she's a force to be reckoned with when she's got this great energy ready to know, because she knows what she's doing, but yet she gets in touch and she does a lot of research. She does a lot of Googling, though a lot of people don't have that time to spare, though, Philly. So this is hard because it's what you do. But let me tell you, Ingrid's no slug. This lady is a tycoon in so many different avenues. It's not funny. Okay, and she's got her hands in it. But this woman is smashing, and Jack is another one that follows her as well, Jack Scannell. And they got the right idea. And you know, I had picked them guys up. I've been with them for several years in another radio station at the time. And they were not this big as they are now. I have watched them beautifully put posts together, connect in the right way, using their marketing skills and talents, and connecting finally with you to give them that extra oomph that they so deserve, because they work so hard at it. And even though they pay this little money, I can't stress to you how many times an artist is ripped off by having a manager that they pay and they go, oh, don't worry, if you sell this, it's 50-50. Really? I wouldn't pay 50-50
Sure.
because you're giving away your whole art to this person who's just going to maybe sit and decide if he wants to boom you or not, or get off your bloody butts and really work the media the way you're designed. That's what you're in that position for. Hello. But then again, we know that there's a lot of businesses out there that used to be really great to work with, and now they're just slugs of society. And they just say, oh, I did this and this, but the artist would never know. The artist would never know what they've been doing. And so this is the kind of a strange battlement that a lot of the music industry has. And for you to go on internet and download free music is such a sadness, though we all have done it. And I can't say I haven't because I did it one time before I ever knew really what was happening. You know, that how cruel it is. And when people, the artists connect up with web designers to design their web pages, you know, do they really know that their music, that person can click on that music if they're not savvy enough, that they can steal that music right there on their website? This is why it's important to have a trusted webmaster, a manager that really knows what's going down and really shows you the logs of what his pathway was to get you where you were getting. Because remember, proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You need to see it in order for you to say, oh, this guy really did me great job. But then I've had him for 5 years and suddenly he's kind of slow at it. What's going on? Well, hello, wake up. They're not into it and they're in the wrong business now.
You're absolutely right. And you know, if I get a manager 50-50, I get a booking agent 50-50, I get a distributor 50-50. Woo! So many 50-50, and then what's the remaining money? Nothing.
That's right. And the money really isn't going anywhere. So to use to really think about this, these indie artists really definitely have to think about, you know, what's good for them on where they want to take their avenues. Yeah, they want to go concerts, but you know what? Touring day to day, state to state may be a dream come true in the beginning, but it's laborious and harsh on your body night after night, going here and there, packing up, maybe not even seeing your family for a year or two or whatever, you know, that's strenuous. And then for them, they really get that money when they put on a live concert? I don't know, Philip. I don't know the contracts. Could it be like a 30-70 that the 70 would be the artist getting it and the 30 would be the studios? You know, all in all, what you're offering here is a really one-shot drop, and you can get it all with less stress, even without going on tour. But could this movement of yours get them into the public eyes on tour? Hell to the yeah, it can.
Yeah, there are too many intermediaries in the music industry right now between the audience and the musician. So we need to reduce it, and that's the same problem with the milk. You know, you producing some milk with your cows, and then the first cooperative we buy you at 20 cents, and when you buy it at Walmart, it costs $1.50 or something like that. Intermediaries
has to pay too, employees, so they take a percentage off of that too. That's why they jack it up.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what the big companies do to not even musicians, but all people. You know, that's how, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, I got to get insurance and everything. And yeah, you do have to have insurance because of this and that, but you don't realize that insurance takes your money and invests in their company, booms it, and they have to pay all these people here and there. But when a disaster strikes you,
I know.
Somebody comes in and says, hey, this is not in the contract. What's the matter with you? You know, so you're like, wow, I freaking paid you monthly. I've never had a disaster for 20 years, man, and you're not going to pay for it? What the hell?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
so many different how you view it, but for what you're doing here, Philip, with your different stages of helping an artist is truly brilliant. But within a sense, everybody may say it's very expensive. Really think about the time you've lost for years to learn your media, not even close to the par that you can get to schedule even a ding or a post on it like you do.
Yeah.
Really, have you ever engaged in your Facebook, friends, which is huge? Okay. And then engaging in Twitter, saying thanks, Radio Indie Freeform, which we really get a lot of. My alternative rockers jammy on Twitter. And I am so proud when they're not on Facebook and they're on the road, they can say thank you. And that's what they do too.
Yeah.
So that to me is gratification on payment for, what I give to them for free. And with that being said, having your business connected with me to help these artists in the right movement would only make them grow to be the smarter and wiser and productive musician.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the main key, just to go through the right path to success. And success will not happen in one night. That's again, whatever you're a musician, a band, a marketer, blah blah, whatever the industry you're working for, you have to run a marathon. And if you're not convinced of this, forget about it and become a governmental employee. So you're safe. But if you want to emerge from the crowd, and first know your audience. Second, follow it up closely. Reduce the number of intermediaries. Reduce your cost. Of course, if you come to me saying, I have $2 million, what can you do for you? I will say, so many things you can't expect and you cannot imagine. That if you came to me saying, I've just invested all my money to record my CD, what can you do for me? Of course, we can do a lot of things, and I will explain you for a very small fee, what can I do for you and drive you on the right path to success. But if you don't, but if this person is not ready to invest his own time, will not work, of course. And we were talking about Ingrid a moment ago, but Ingrid is getting a music and involved in the music and in their marketing as a full-time job. Some will say that yes, she has time to do it. No, she's working outside for one of the famous and biggest reputable entertainment company, and she's doing it.
Amusement.
Yeah, so everything is possible.
She also has her own story and everything on top of everything she's dealing with. I mean, she loves this, and this is what makes her stay alive and sassy.
Yeah.
Because this is her type of personality. Now, remember, we all have different types of personalities. We either are go-getters, we're doers, or we're dreamers, or we're just talking smack and just get off our ass. And we just want everybody to think that that's what we are. But, when you show what you're doing, there is a huge love for what Ingrid's doing with some of the people that are noticing that we've been collaborating so much. She is so wonderful. I want to do what she's doing. And I said, you can. If you're really serious, you can be just the biggest one like her too. And she's not like massive, but she's interacting and she's communicative, and that's what booms her.
Exactly.
With the public, her audience, and everything. And I said that earlier. Once you start communicating and promoting and scratching, I like to say scratch one's back, but I know that can be used differently, but it's not in a nasty way. Okay?
No, absolutely. No, I got you. And you're right. And that's the minimum, You want to start because you want to start with 1 hour per day, just checking what's going on around you with your music. And so That's good. That's good, and that's better than nothing. And slowly that would improve.
And they see this with what you do. I mean, they know that they're getting your money's worth with you. And that's what I love to see, because that means we, Radio Indie Freeform, chose the right people to be communicating with and collaborating with, because we want a good platform to help these artists know that you don't have to pay big bucks to get where you want to be. You got to work the new system, and the new system is cyberspace. It's not going to be knocking on everybody's doors,
Doesn't work.
Sit in the office, oh yeah, I got this band light. And what? You can't use them? Huh? Okay. Those are things that most people are used to way back when we were growing up in the music line. But the music line has taken the most hardest hit of all this wonderful technology we live in. And because you can just tap in the right spot and download for free.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube, the artists that are smart enough, they'll block no downloading that music. And I think that's wonderful, because it encourages people to buy the music. And that's what it's really the harping of, about how we can correct this vast arrangement of space waves that we've got going on, because we can't control it, but we can find the right people to protect you. And that's what's the key of building your empire.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why what the people who are watching the show live or the replay in a couple of hours will keep that in mind. Music altogether, the venture between Radio Indie Freeform, TRSV, is an indie artist-centric organization. That means that you artist, you indie artist, you are the art of the project. Right. And all the processes around this are your concern, the same way this is our concern. And if you keep that in mind all the time, believe me, you will have some huge return faster than you expect. And that's the way. Next show we will have Ingrid Smith, aka as known as Eclipse the Soundmaker, and she will tell us exactly the way she's managing that. And that would be good for everyone, just to know how Ingrid can join two different jobs with a very huge, as I said before, entertainment company in the US. In this company is getting much of her time, but she's involved and follow exactly what she want to do in the music industry, and that's really fine.
This will be great, because she's so awesome sauce to listen to, and so educated. And not only that, I love her because what she does for Radio Indie Freeform is she is a nice little editor and the author for the Indie Amp movement, which she writes about little certain steps to take, who to be careful, watch out on Google, even to be a spy in a sense. She really gives out great information, and that post strictly goes out to WordPress blog. And so I just did a little thing up on TRSV too, on the word blog.
Yeah.
I have to, but with that being said, we have lots of things to offer, and she has such a load of information that can help educate the person. And then if somebody says, oh, she's full of dookie, well, you know what? You haven't gotten far. So shut your trap.
You're right. Lady Ingrid will tell us everything and the way she's managing her career in 2 weeks maximum with the new Music Altogether show. Dawn, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for all those wise advice. And Don't forget to tune in daily. There's a show on Radio Indie Freeform. Follow Radio Indie Freeform and Dawn on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Google Plus, and stay tuned. Stay tuned because many more to come very soon, believe me.
Especially with the music all together. It has been a pleasure and hopefully a treat to educate and communicate with all you guys out there. And I look forward to the next time. So y'all come back, you hear?
In two weeks maximum, we're gonna have the next show, but we're gonna post on social media to inform all our audience and musicians' audience.
Indeed. So we'll take care and thank you.
You're welcome.
So a blessing to always be in your mess.
See you. Have a great one. Bye, Dawn.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Mm-hmm.